You didn't stumble here by accident. Your presence in this moment is proof of a quiet alignment that's been unfolding for a long time. The universe speaks in many languages. Whispers in the wind, patterns in time, a subtle shift in the air. And somehow you've learned to listen. There has been a pulse moving through your life, a signal, faint yet persistent, echoing in coincidences that are too exact to dismiss. In the way time sometimes slows or bends, just enough for you to notice. In those instances, the veil between the ordinary and the extraordinary thins, and you glimpse something most never see. This perception isn't a gift you stumbled upon overnight. It's been forged in every challenge you've endured, every doubt you've released, every leap of trust you've taken into the unseen. Slowly, you've been tuning yourself, refining your frequency, until now, you've become a receiver for a different kind of message. Not noise, not distraction, but codes of remembrance, signals that awaken what the world tried to make you forget. You have been walking between worlds without fully knowing it. One where limitation rules and miracles are rare, the other where intention shapes reality and the fabric of life responds to the quiet certainty of your being. You've crossed between them, sometimes by choice, sometimes without understanding how, each time gathering proof that what seems impossible can still be true. These shifts are not instability, they are calibration. You're learning the rhythm of a greater reality and how to move within it. Lately, you may have felt a growing tension inside you, a steady expansion pressing against the limits of who you once believed yourself to be. It's an uneasy sensation because real transformation always feels that way. The self you've known is dissolving, while the one you are becoming pushes forward, and the space between the two can feel like disorder. But this disorder is not collapse. It is a higher order reorganizing itself. Like water shifting into steam, there's a brief state where it's neither one nor the other. You now exist in that threshold, a quantum transition zone where your old operating system is being rewritten to run possibilities your former self could never hold. This is no accident. It's a design set in motion by the part of you that exists outside time, the higher self that sees your entire path at once. It has woven into your reality the perfect challenges, catalysts, and turning points to bring you here. The force you feel isn't pushing you into something unnatural. It's pulling away the mask you were never meant to wear. It's your authentic self insisting on expression, on embodiment without apology. And until you yield to it, that insistence will only grow stronger. Across centuries, every spiritual tradition has tried to name this moment. The instant human awareness recognizes itself as divine consciousness, temporarily inhabiting a human life. When that truth shifts from a thought in your mind to a knowing in your very cells, the world doesn't suddenly change, you do. And in that change, your dance with reality becomes entirely different. Setbacks reveal themselves as redirections. Missed chances prove to be shields, keeping you from binding yourself to what was never truly yours. Even the moments that felt wrong were, in truth, perfectly timed steps on a path you couldn't yet see. Delays were not punishments, but preparation. Waiting was not stagnation, but integration. Every experience, especially the ones you wish had never happened, has been training you to hold greater frequencies of awareness. Heartbreak taught you to keep your heart open through pain. Failure showed you that your worth is untied from outcomes. Betrayal taught you to trust the compass within. Each trial has unlocked dormant aspects of your consciousness, revealing strengths no comfort could ever call forth. This is not mere personal growth. It is the evolution of consciousness itself. You've been expanding your capacity to carry more light, more love, more truth. Nothing has been wasted. Confusion has honed your tolerance for the unknown. Isolation has refined your ability to stand as your own companion. And each moment you reach for strength you didn't know you had, you were touching a part of yourself beyond personality, beyond history, beyond the boundaries you once believed were real. You stand at the doorway to an entirely new reality, one that is not asking for hope, wishful thinking, or passive faith. It asks for something far deeper, embodied certainty, a knowing so integrated that it shapes the rhythm of your breath, the way you enter a room, the voice you use when speaking to yourself in silence. This certainty is not something you need to fabricate or force. It is something you remember, like the unshakable conviction you had as a child when the world you imagined felt completely real. Before you learned to divide real from unreal, you lived inside pure possibility, where anything could happen and often did. That state of consciousness wasn't naive, it was quantum. Children instinctively understand that awareness comes first, and physical form follows. They have yet to be trained into believing that what the eyes can see is more real than what the mind can envision. They have not yet been taught to distrust the wisdom of intuition or to question the truth that arises from within. Reclaiming this quantum state is not a return to childish thought. It is an ascent into higher dimensional awareness that includes logic but expands far beyond it. It is the remembrance that you are woven into the same intelligence that births stars, turns planets, and orchestrates the precise timing of every synchronicity in your life. The version of you who lives in abundance, power, and unshakable peace is not a distant dream. They exist now in the quantum field where all possibilities reside, continuously broadcasting their frequency. Your task is not to become them, it is to align with them, to tune your inner vibration until the space between you dissolves. This is not fantasy. This is consciousness applying the same principles that quantum mechanics has long described, that all possibilities exist at once until observed, and that observation itself shapes reality. Your awareness is the observer. Your focus is the force that collapses infinite potential into lived experience. When you hold a steady vision of yourself as the empowered, abundant, and peaceful being you truly are, reality has no choice but to mirror it. More than that, your future self is not a silent witness. They are an active collaborator. Every inspired idea is them transmitting possibility. Every surge of motivation is them lending their energy. Every thought that feels larger than your current life is them reaching into your present awareness. Outside linear time, your future self already knows the path. They see which decisions will speed your evolution and which will weigh it down. They know the encounters and openings that matter most, and they are always sending you signals. To hear them clearly, you must meet them at their frequency. What you desire isn't separated from you by time, space, or circumstance. It's only separated by frequency. And frequency is something you can shift right now, in this very moment, without changing anything outside of you. It begins with a simple recognition. What you want is also wanting you. The life you've been imagining has been imagining you too. The success you've been calling in has been calling you forward. This works because consciousness isn't confined to your brain or even your body. It's a field that permeates everything, and your individual awareness is like a radio tuning into particular stations within that field. When you desire something, you're resonating with a frequency where that thing already exists. The fact that you can feel it is proof you have the capacity to align with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't even perceive it as possible. Most people, though, approach desire as if they're trying to pull something toward them from far away. They believe they have to work hard enough, wait long enough, or prove themselves worthy enough before they can have it. This creates resistance because it's based on the illusion of separation, on the idea that you and your desire live in different places and you must bridge the gap. In quantum reality, it's different. You and what you want are already in the same field of consciousness. The process isn't about attracting, it's about aligning. It's not about making something happen, it's about allowing it to happen. The difference is subtle but profound. Attraction implies distance and effort. Alignment implies recognition and resonance. When you align with the frequency of your desire, you don't just pull it closer. You discover you've always been connected to it. The separation was never real. It was only the result of tuning into the wrong frequency. It's like realizing that the song you've been searching for has been playing all along. You just needed to turn the dial. That's why manifestation can seem instant. The universe isn't suddenly creating something for you. You're suddenly aligning with what's already here in the quantum field of possibility. The speed of manifestation matches the speed of alignment, and alignment can happen in an instant when you truly grasp this. But many people get stuck thinking they must earn it, prove their worth, or wait for the perfect timing. They treat their dreams like job applications they might not get. The truth is, if you can see it, feel it, and imagine it clearly, it's already yours. Your ability to conceive of it is the universe revealing what belongs to your quantum inheritance. This inheritance isn't random. Your imagination isn't just a fantasy machine. It's a perception tool that can cross dimensional boundaries. When you vividly imagine something and feel it deeply, you're not making it up. You're tuning into a potential reality. That's why ideas and visions can't always be traced back to logic or past experience. They seem to arrive from beyond personal consciousness, as if they're received rather than created. And they are. Imagination is how higher dimensional information translates into a form your current mind can process. Every breakthrough, invention, or revolutionary idea began as what seemed impossible. Often, the same impossible ideas appear to multiple people at the same time, without contact. That's not coincidence. It's consciousness evolving through many receivers at once. Your visions are not random. They are downloads from the quantum field, showing you what is possible and already prepared for you, waiting for you to align deeply enough for them to become physical reality. The feeling of unworthiness that says you must earn your dreams is just conditioning from an old paradigm of scarcity, competition, and external permission. In the quantum paradigm, worthiness isn't earned, it's inherent. The fact that you exist proves your worthiness to experience anything your consciousness can expand into. You're not asking for too much when you imagine abundance. You're not unrealistic when you expect miracles. You're not deceiving yourself when you feel certain that everything is aligning in your favor. You're simply tuning into a truth your conditioned mind has been taught to doubt, but your quantum self recognizes instantly. The pressure, the uncertainty, those long nights when you questioned everything you thought you knew about yourself. People might have overlooked you, dismissed your dreams, made you feel like you were asking for too much. But every moment of struggle was actually forging an unbreakable strength inside you. You've been training in the cosmic gym, building spiritual muscle you didn't realize you needed. But here's the truth beneath those tough times. They weren't random suffering. They were precise, intentional preparation, calibrated to awaken parts of your consciousness essential for the reality you're stepping into. Those challenges weren't punishment. They were initiations. Like the butterfly's transformation inside the chrysalis, it looks like breakdown from the outside. But inside, matter and consciousness are completely reorganizing into a form capable of flight. Your crawling consciousness has been dissolving, so your flying consciousness can emerge. The parts of you built on limitation, struggle, and the belief that small rewards come only through hard labor. Those parts have been dismantled to make way for a new operating system. That's why old solutions no longer work. Why strategies that once brought success now feel hollow and draining. Why familiar relationships began to feel confining instead of comforting. You're not failing life. You're outgrowing the version of life you knew. Your consciousness is expanding beyond the boundaries of your previous reality. The isolation you felt during awakening isn't rejection. It's frequency differentiation. As you vibrate higher, you naturally resonate with new people, new opportunities, new ways of being. Old connections don't break because of mistakes. They fade because your vibrations no longer align. This can feel lonely until you realize it's not separation from connection. It's preparation for a deeper connection. Relationships based on resonance, not need. On mutual growth, not dependency. On shared purpose, not limitation. You're different now. You can feel it. Triggers that once shook you now barely ripple the surface. Opinions that once derailed you feel distant, irrelevant. You're developing what quantum physicists call the observer effect. The power to shift reality simply by how you perceive it. Your attention is now a creative force, your expectation a magnetic field. This isn't just about resilience or emotional balance. You're awakening superhuman capacities, seeing patterns invisible to others, sensing energies undetectable by most, knowing truths without being told, influencing outcomes through the presence you carry, not just your actions. Don't wait for others to validate this knowing before you step fully into it. Don't wait for them to see your vision before you start moving as if it's real. The universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you are. And who you are is shaped by the story you tell yourself about what's possible right now. You're done playing small. That was survival in a reality that no longer exists. You've outgrown shrinking yourself to fit spaces never designed for your expanded self. The rooms you're meant to occupy, the conversations you're meant to lead, the impact you're destined to make. They require the full, unapologetic expression of your true being. You've probably felt it building inside lately, a pressure rising, pushing beyond the boundaries of who you once believed yourself to be. Transformation rarely feels comfortable. The old identity is dissolving, making way for the new. That space between who you were and who you're becoming feels chaotic. But here's what most don't realize: that chaos is coherence, rearranging itself on a higher level. Imagine water turning into steam. For a moment, it is neither liquid nor gas. It exists in a transitional state beyond easy definition. This is exactly where you are now, in a quantum threshold where your old operating system is being upgraded to run programs once impossible for your former self. This shift isn't random. It's been carefully orchestrated by your higher self, the version of you outside linear time, witnessing your entire evolution. This higher self has been planting the right challenges, opportunities, and wake-up calls to prepare you for the moment when everything shifts into a new gear. The pressure you feel isn't about becoming someone else. It's the authentic you demanding to be expressed, without apology, without compromise. This pressure will only grow stronger until you stop resisting and start cooperating with it. Throughout history, spiritual traditions have described this process in different words, but they all point to the same truth. The moment when human consciousness recognizes itself as divine consciousness, temporarily experiencing human form. When this recognition moves beyond the mind into your very cells, everything changes. Not because the universe treats you differently, but because you begin to respond as the creative force you truly are. What once felt like setbacks were course corrections. Missed opportunities were protections against settling for less than what truly aligns. Every seeming failure was in fact part of a timeline you couldn't yet see. The delays weren't punishment, they were preparation. The waiting wasn't wasted time, it was integration. And there's more to this preparation than most realize. Every experience, especially the ones you wish to forget, has been building your capacity to hold higher frequencies of consciousness. Heartbreak taught you to keep your heart open even through pain. Failure showed you that your worth isn't tied to outcomes. Betrayal urged you to trust your inner knowing above all else. Each challenge awakened dormant parts of your consciousness, unreachable by any other means. The you that emerges from these trials is expanded, resilient, and more capable than the one who entered them. This isn't just psychological growth. This is consciousness evolving. You've been upgrading your ability to carry more light, more love, more power, more truth. The universe wastes nothing. Every moment of confusion built your tolerance for uncertainty. Every period of isolation deepened your ability to be your own companion. Every time you found strength you didn't know you had, you discovered inner resources beyond personality, biography, or perceived human limits. Right now, the thoughts streaming through your mind are reshaping your brain's neural pathways. The emotions you feel are altering the electromagnetic field around you. The words you repeat quietly to yourself are programming the deep subconscious. This goes beyond simple personal growth. It's the art of engineering your own reality, building your life from the quantum core outward. Take a moment. Write this below as your declaration. I am ready to receive everything that is already mine. Say it with intention, like a signal shooting straight to the cosmos, announcing that the era of playing small has ended. This isn't mere engagement. It's an energetic act of resetting your internal code, replacing old loops with new programs. So how does this change your daily life? It means expecting different outcomes, preparing for success rather than guarding against failure. It means speaking to yourself as someone worthy of respect and belief. It means choosing from the place you want to be, not from where you once were. The universe is a boundless field of consciousness, responding to every signal you emit. Each thought sends a transmission. Each feeling broadcasts a frequency. Each action casts a vote for the reality you desire. Most people send out mixed signals unconsciously, creating a jumble of results. but you are learning the power of intentional transmission. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions harmonize around a clear vision, you create what quantum physicists call coherence, the universe's most potent creative force. This is the mysterious reason particles behave differently when observed, why intention can change water structure, and how your focused attention can literally weave reality's fabric anew. If this message resonates with you, please like this video and subscribe. Your support helps more people awaken to these quantum truths when they need it most. But here's the truth you must hear. Coherence cannot be faked. You can't simply pretend to be aligned. Your body senses when you speak truth versus when you perform hope. Your nervous system discerns authentic certainty from wishful thinking. This is why affirmations sometimes ring hollow and visualization feels like fantasy. If your whole being isn't aligned, you're creating inner conflict, not coherence. True coherence isn't about forcing belief when doubt lingers. It's about uncovering a truth so deep that doubt becomes impossible. A frequency where your desires and your essence are one and the same. This is the dimension where your wants arise not from lack, but from your authentic self. It's why some manifest miracles effortlessly, while others struggle despite endless effort. It's not about spirituality level or techniques, it's about internal coherence. When every part of you resonates with the same truth, reality has no choice but to reflect it back. Creating coherence requires a different approach than most teachings suggest. Stop trying to force thoughts and emotions to fit your desires. Instead, discover what you truly want, the desires that naturally align with your core being. Uncover what feels like coming home, not a foreign dream imposed from outside. Your authentic desires already exist in coherence with your essence. When you connect with them, alignment flows effortlessly. It was there all along, waiting for you to surrender resistance and allow. So ask yourself, what do I want so deeply, so authentically, that every cell in my body says yes without hesitation? When you find that, manifestation transforms from a struggle into pure expression. You're no longer creating, you're allowing something that's already creating itself through you. What is one old pattern or belief you're ready to release today to clear space for this new frequency in your life? Share your answer in the comments below. Let's witness together what you're letting go of as you step fully into alignment. If what I'm sharing is stirring something deep inside you, a recognition that feels more like remembering than learning, then I invite you to subscribe, not just to this channel, but to this frequency, to this movement of souls who refuse to play small any longer. We are done waiting for permission, done settling for realities that feel too narrow for the vastness of who we truly are. Subscribe to stay connected to this space where transformation isn't just talked about, it is lived and breathed every day. You've been preparing for this moment your whole life. Every challenge that tried to break you actually broke you open. Every setback that seemed like failure was setting you up for something greater. Every time you found strength you didn't know you had, you were building the capacity to hold the magnitude of what's coming. The waiting is over, not because external circumstances have aligned, but because you have aligned. Not because you earned it, but because you remembered you always were worthy. You belong in this frequency, in this version of reality where what you want and who you are no longer separate. But belonging here means embodying here. It means moving through your days like someone who knows their value, speaking like someone who expects to be heard, choosing like someone who trusts their instincts, showing up like someone who offers their unique gift, not someone desperate to prove their worth. This shift in how you show up ripples outward, touching everything and everyone in your field. Your elevated frequency gives others permission to elevate theirs. Your courage to live authentically inspires others to drop their masks. Your willingness to expect more from life shows others what is possible. You're not just transforming your own life, you're contributing to the collective evolution of consciousness. This is the secret few understand. The universe isn't testing your worthiness. It's mirroring what you already believe. It reflects your internal frequency in your external experience. If you want to change your reality, you must change who you are being. What shift have you noticed in yourself since you began embodying this new understanding? Drop a comment below and share how this frequency is already showing up in your life. your transformation becomes inspiration for others to step into theirs. Right now, as these words sink in, ask yourself, what energy am I embodying? Am I someone who expects good things to happen? Do I trust that what I desire is already on its way? Do I know that setbacks are setups, delays are divine timing? Because reality responds not to what you say you want, but to who you consistently are. You get to choose what you're being in every moment. Will you be someone who waits for evidence before believing? Or someone who believes so deeply that they create the evidence? Expect miracles, not as something separate from you, but as natural expressions of your alignment. Expect synchronicities, knowing you are creating the conditions for them to occur. Expect breakthroughs, because they are the fruits of all the small moments you chose faith over fear, trust over doubt, expansion over contraction. When you consistently expect good things, something beautiful happens. Good things start expecting you. Opportunities seek you out. The right people appear at exactly the right time. Resources flow to you in ways that seem magical, but are simply the natural result of clear, consistent, coherent energy. Maybe it's been hard to maintain this trust. Maybe you felt alone carrying a vision others can't see. But just because others don't see it doesn't mean it's not real. Just because results haven't materialized yet doesn't mean they aren't materializing. Some realities need time to densify, from pure possibility into physical form. You are not behind schedule. You are not missing your window. You are exactly where you need to be to receive what has been prepared for you. Every moment of preparation, every season of waiting, every seeming detour has coordinated to bring you to this very moment, where everything becomes possible. But possibility only becomes reality through embodied action, through moving as if you know, rather than hoping you might be right, through speaking like someone who expects to be heard, not like someone grateful for any attention, through choosing like someone who trusts their instincts, not someone seeking consensus before acting. Let go of the timeline your mind invented. Trust the one actually unfolding. Things aren't falling apart. They're falling into place. The discomfort you feel isn't a sign something's wrong. It's evidence that something is shifting. The old structures that no longer serve you are dissolving, making space for new structures that support the expanded version of who you are becoming. You were not guided here to be briefly inspired and then return to old patterns. You were guided here to remember what you forgot, to awaken what's been dormant, to step through a doorway that's been waiting for you to notice it was open. You are the moment you've been waiting for. You are the answer you've been seeking. You are the change you want to see in your life and in the world. Not the version still figuring it out, but the version who already knows. Not the version still healing, but the version already whole. Not the version still becoming, but the version who already is. Take a moment now. Drop one word in the comments. One word that captures the energy you choose to embody moving forward. One word that represents the frequency you're committing to broadcast. One word that serves as your energetic signature to the quantum field. Your declaration of who you are being from this moment onward. If you're ready to stay connected to this frequency, to surround yourself with others living at this level of possibility, subscribe, not just to stay connected, but to stay coherent, to remain aligned with the reality where dreams aren't fantasies, they're blueprints, where vision isn't wishful thinking, it's remembering what's always been true. The more of us embody this frequency, living like the impossible is inevitable, expecting miracles as naturally as we expect the sun to rise, the more the world reflects that truth back to us all. Your individual alignment contributes to collective awakening. Your personal transformation is a gift to every life you touch. Consider watching this video every morning to anchor this frequency before your day begins, or share it with someone ready to remember their power. When you share these quantum consciousness principles, you create an energetic ripple that accelerates manifestation for yourself and others, expanding collective awareness and deepening your own understanding of these truths. The season of waiting is complete. The preparation phase is over. The next chapter doesn't begin tomorrow, next week, or when conditions feel perfect. It begins now, with every breath, every choice, every moment you remember. You are not a victim of reality. You are a creator of it. Move differently, think differently, speak differently. Not because you're becoming someone new, but because you're finally allowing who you've always been to lead. The frequency has shifted, the timeline has accelerated, the possibilities have expanded, and nothing will ever be the same again.